Okay, so a new series of Tough Enough has just finished, basically, hasn't it? So I thought I'd come in and give my opinion on all the contestants and what I think their future is in the industry, if they do have a future in the industry or if they don't whatsoever. So, okay, let's start it off. We've got Adrienne. She was the first one to leave the show. My thoughts on her, like at the start, were basically just she doesn't look like she's got an interest in the business. It looked like she just wants to be on TV, and I think Austin saw through that straight away, and I think that's why she was the first one thrown off. Even though she did show a little bit more technical prowess than like one of the other girls who was in the bottom three. It was Michelle, but yeah, she was just there for the paycheck, the money ride, wasn't she? But she wasn't cut out for the business, in my opinion. I think they saw through that, and I don't think she will have a future in the business. I really hope they don't hire her to an FCW contract. I don't really see anything of her again on wrestling. I wouldn't mind seeing her on something else. For example, if she's a good actor, I won't be against seeing her on there. But in my opinion, I don't want to see her in a wrestling ring ever again. Next up we have Matt Cross. Now he was a good small guy. He was everyone's at the start. Everyone thought, oh, this guy's going to win. This guy's a really good small little worker. But he doesn't, like, when you look at him, you don't see superstar, do you? He's a small guy. I don't think he's even like at 6 foot. So he's never going to be the top guy in the company. So to reach the next, it's sort of like a next breakout star like NXT sort of do, isn't it? So with Matt Cross, in my opinion, not that I wouldn't want to see him on WWE, I wouldn't mind seeing him on an indie show, for example. I think he'd be a good worker, but apart from that, I don't see a future for him, and I don't see a future for him in mainstream wrestling. Maybe as a member of the X Division, but he doesn't scream superstar to me. There's no reason why we should have him over any other wrestler. I've got nothing against the guy, but like Austin threw him out early on for a reason, and if he did see any superstar potentially, he would have kept him, wouldn't he? So yeah, that was Matt Cross. Next up we had Michelle, who quit because she missed her child and she wanted to go back to her child. I was glad when she quit because, you know, it was painful watching her. She was trying, she was obviously trying, but when someone's not cut out for something, it's best that you just tell them, listen, this isn't for you, you know, leave. She did that to herself, which I thought was very brave of her to just be like, right, I can't do this, I've got to go back to my daughter, you know, and she did leave. So yeah, fair play to her in that. Then we had Michael. You know, this guy's got an indie look. He's built, but he doesn't look like a superstar. He's not good looking. He looks really creepy, doesn't he? Like, you just look at him and like, this guy's weird. I don't like him. He's muscly. He'd probably kick my ass. But apart from that, I don't want to see him. To be honest, I've got no reason to want to see him. He wasn't a good worker by the looks of things, and he was a bit of a knobhead, wasn't he? Where he wouldn't shake Skid Mark's hand or something, or he trashed his room. So yeah, when he got rid of him, I was quite glad. Next up, Rima Fakir left. The one thing about her is that she's marketable. She's very marketable. She was the Miss USA the year before, the current reigning one. I think that's the only reason they let her in the show. I don't think there was any intention of ever letting her win. Obviously, if she was the best, then they would have let her win, obviously. But I don't think they ever thought that she would be good enough. I just think that they let her be on the Tough Enough show just to get a bit of, just to be able to market the Tough Enough show, like, hey, we've got America's Hottest Woman on the show, come and watch our show. And I think that would have helped the viewers a little bit, and that would have helped with the what's the word, with the popularity of the show. I think that would have got their name out to a lot of places. But yeah, I don't really want to see her in the WWE ring ever. I hope they don't hire her to a developmental deal or anything like that. I hope they just, you know, keep her off TV, and I wish her all the best and all her other stuff, but I don't want to see her in a wrestling ring, basically. Next off we had Ryan, aka Skid Marks. To me, he had a decent look, but he was just very tacking, like sort of camp in the way that he acted, like Spirit Fingers kind of annoyingness, and it was just like, this guy could be good if he was like a little bit more, not serious, but a little bit more professional. He was trying to be very goofy and like a carnival act, and it didn't come off as if he wanted to be a wrestler. It just came off as he wanted to be an attraction somewhere, and you know, I could just put him in a zoo or something. As far as I'm concerned, let's not have him on our TV screens. Next up, Eric Watts. Now everyone laughed at the start because Eric Watts is the son of Bill Watts, and we thought, oh, is Eric Watts going to have another go? But it was a big black guy with a massive afro, and to be honest, when I saw him, he was my favourite. Just off the look, I was like, you know what, I like this guy, he's got a good look. But it turned out he was a fucking lazy arsehole, wasn't he? You know, they gave him so many chances, and just he'd trudge around, and he wasn't in shape, and he's not cut out for it, in my opinion, either. He'd be sort of good for sort of a Shikara show. If bring him in Shikara, maybe put a stupid gimmick on him, and he'd probably do a job for you. But as far as WWE Superstar goes, no, not for me. Ivelisse, now this was my favourite woman all the way through the show. I wanted Ivelisse to win it. The only problem with her is that she's too small and that she's a bit dainty and she's a bit weak, and I think that really hurt her in the show. But she is hot. She is a fucking fit woman, isn't she? Really, let's face it. You know, this to me, she's like a really good looking bird. Let's get her in the show. I wouldn't mind having her in FCW. Train her up, get her strength up, get conditioning up. Let's see her in the WWE ring with other women, because when you compare a woman like that to a man, especially like a small woman compared to these big men like an Eric Watts, comparing Ivelisse to an Eric Watts, there's no comparison whatsoever. You cannot compare a woman's strength compared to them. But if you put her in there with like a woman, a women's wrestler, someone like a Bella Twin, I think she could go with a Bella Twin and she could outshow a Bella Twin. She's a lot better looking than both the Bella Twins put together. So yeah, I'd really like to see Ivelisse hired to an FCW contract. Next up we had Martin. He was the best one all around in my opinion. He didn't necessarily have the look, because he looked like Donny Osmond, but you know, he was built, he was good in the ring, he seems to have charisma, he did very, very well in my opinion, and it's a shame that injury had to take him out of the competition. Again, I'd like to see him hired to a developmental contract, but I can't see how far he'd go in the company, because to me, he doesn't scream heavyweight champion, he screams European champion, and they no longer have a European title. Next up, we have Christina. Now apparently she's Alicia Fox's sister, which I had no idea about. She seemed really, really nice, like a really nice person, but in ring she was rubbish. I only think she got as far as she did because she's Alicia Fox's sister. In hindsight, I don't know how she got that far. She was the last surviving woman, which, you know, that's all good and everything, but she had no in-ring ability whatsoever. She went along with everything, and she just would have been like another bland diva like the rest. And if we've got a big sister who's already okay, why bring in the little sister who's not as good, you know? Then we had AJ. He was very competent in the ring. He can do a job. However, he's boring as shit. He's got nothing to say. Like, he cut a really good promo on Bill, but that's the best promo he'll ever cut in his entire lifetime, and that was the highlight of his wrestling career. That one promo he cut on Bill. He is not going to get any better than that, in my opinion, and that's why I'm glad that he was binned off and he didn't go on to win. Yeah, I don't really care for him too much. Maybe in an indie show where he doesn't have to talk, just put on a good in-ring show. You could do that. He can more than well carry his half of the show, but I wouldn't really want to see him on a WWE screen. Next up, Jeremiah. Now this guy, very good athlete, but does he have an interest in wrestling? Is he just trying to be an athlete in whatever he can get to? Is he just been like, I think Austin said, oh, you just like a Rolling Stone sort of thing, where you just roll into one thing and then you just fall into another career. I don't see him I see him as sort of Brock Lesnar. He can do it. He could do it, but he's not even as big as Brock Lesnar. If he was as big as Brock Lesnar, I would have said, yeah, let's give him a 3-4 year career. Let's put him in the ring. He'll do very well for us, and then let him fuck off. But no, this guy's small. He won't do too much in 2-3 years. That's why I think when he does decide to fuck off, if he did do 2-3 years, then it would have been a bit of wasted time and wasted money on WWE's part. I'm glad he didn't go on to win. I don't think he's got the passion for the business, and you know, he's probably going to do something probably going to do something in his life that is fulfilling, and I think he's going to go on to a good career in something. Just I don't think wrestling's for him. Next up, Luke. Oh, I fucking hated this guy. He, to be honest, really charismatic, would have been a really good heel, but I just hated him. He just seemed like such an arsehole. When Martin won that competition and he wouldn't shake his hand, Martin held his hand out and Luke just sort of like turned away and did this, stuck his tongue out and was like a bit of a wanker, like, oh, fuck off, Luke. And when he got to the final, I was like, oh, please, no, don't let him win. Another thing is that on the final show, when he was stood up against Bill DeMott in the ring, he looked so small compared to Bill DeMott, and it was embarrassing. He did not look like a WWE superstar in the ring with Bill DeMott. Never mind someone like a John Cena. He couldn't even compare to Bill DeMott in my opinion. So I'm glad that he didn't win. And I'm glad that Andy did go on to win, because Andy is a monster. I think Andy is going to be a fantastic winner of Tough Enough. I think he's going to go on to do better than Maven. Who else won Tough Enough? Matt Capitelli didn't. John Morrison win it. John Morrison's done alright, but I think Andy could be like a really good big one. He reminds me a lot of Kane for some reason. And if he can have a career that's a lot like that mirrors Kane's, and fucking fair play to him, I think he's going to do a job in the WWE. And he's what, like 26 years old or something like that. So he could have a 10-15 year career on his hands. I think Andy was the right choice to win Tough Enough. Now, it's not about what I think, because I've told you about what I thought about everyone now. I want to know what you guys think. What do you think of how many people were in the show? 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. There's 14 people in the show. What do you think of the 14 Tough Enough contestants? Do you think any of them deserve a chance again? Do you think they picked the right winner? Do you think they picked the wrong winner? What do you think of Andy becoming a new WWE superstar? There's lots to talk about on this topic, so I want a lot of discussion on this video. Please leave me a comment. I love comments. I love replying to comments and like talking about wrestling with people. Also, before I go, one last quick thing, or two things. My videos, do you like shorter videos or do you like longer videos? Personally, when I watch these videos on YouTube, I prefer the longer videos, but some people who watch might prefer shorter videos, and I'm trying to figure out a way to just basically pander better to you lot, because if you lot prefer shorter videos, then there's no point in me chatting on for 20 minutes, because I can save 10 minutes of my life by not talking and appealing to more people that way, so that'd be great. So yeah, just let me know, shorter videos or longer videos, what do you think? And also, I just did my Q&A. It's proved to be like reasonably successful. It's got like 150 views in a day or something like that, which is quite good for my videos. And yeah, so if you want to ask me a question, please leave it on the moderator on my channel, and I'll answer that in my next video. And with that, I'm out. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Anwar. See you later.